This week on Where Do You Stand, we're bringing you a half-hour special on what it's like to be involved in Greek life.
I don't know, I wanted to meet a new circle of people, especially coming in as a freshman, not knowing anyone, making friends like the first semester, but I just wanted to meet more people and have the chance to be a part of an organization that socializes with many other organizations.
What made me influenced into Greek life was my oldest brother. He's a part of Phi Beta Sigma too, and so growing up, I was surrounded by Greek life through him, and so the only side of Greek life I saw was through the fraternity that I'm a part of now, and that's what grew me interested in.
So at first, it wasn't even on my radar, and then a lot of my roommates freshman year were like, I want to go through recruitment. So they kind of brought me around the sororities, and as I met more people, it was like, hey, wait, I kind of think this is for me. So yeah, it just felt like home whenever I was around Tri-Sig.
When I was a freshman, I transferred here in the spring, and I had no friends. And the one friend that I made who I got really close with, she had just joined our sorority, and she was pushing me towards it, and she brought me to a bunch of events, and I met the girls, and I loved them, and I realized that all of my ideas about Greek life were wrong, and that everybody I met was so great here that I just decided it was what I wanted to do.
Coming to Bloomsburg, I never wanted to be a part of Greek organization before I came here. I focused on the stereotypes and, thought it was just a big load of crap, honestly. But then once I went through Rush, I realized that Phi Sigma Sigma was exactly where I was supposed to be.
First thing first, honestly, it was I had a great mentor that was here when I first came here. Kind of, put me, I want to say, I don't want to say we were underneath the wing, but it kind of, took me under and everything. And, being a good role model, introducing me to, exactly what the fraternity was about and everything. So, that kind of pushed me to do more research on that fraternity. So.
My best friend at home got into a sorority her freshman year, and she was telling me all the stories about it, how much she likes it, and all the community service they do and everything. And then I met Steph, and she was in DeFi here, and she was telling me about it and saying she was just telling me what they do and stuff, and I never really thought I'd join a sorority, but when I met her, it was kind of one of those things that I was used to what media was portraying Greek life as, and then when I started to meet people in Greek life, it was kind of those barriers were breaking down, and I started to see it as something that I could join and something that I would enjoy.
Mainly because I was a transfer student in fall 2015, and I really wanted to establish a group of friends that I could always rely on and go back to. So that's the main reason why.
Each Greek organization is different from the next. We ask students what makes their organization unique.
I have friends in all the organizations on campus, all of Greek life, but I like that the same thing that some of my other sisters said, I guess what Tessa said too, is that I think we're very diverse. We have so many sisters that are in different majors, and we have girls who are in ROTC, and I mean every Greek life organization has diversity, but I just think that when you meet us compared to when you meet other sororities, we just have a lot different kind of people.
I would say that it's uniqueness. Being the first, kind of laying down the blueprint for other organizations to kind of build off of that. I would say that by us being the first fraternity, first Black Greek letter fraternity, we kind of showed these other organizations the way to how to operate and such. So I would think that us being the first, and also what we do as far as just services and our whole motto and everything, I think that separates us from the other organizations. So.
The biggest thing I would say is that we're national, and that basically means that we have a lot more people to report to than the local sororities. We wear national letters. There's people all over the United States, all over the country that have the same letters as us. And that's what kind of makes it cool, is everything's very universal, so we're all required to do the same things. That's definitely the biggest thing. I think that another thing is just our friendships, our bond. It's definitely distinguishable when you are around us, and I think that's one of the most special things about it.
I mean, all the organizations on campus are absolutely great, but I just felt at home here, and I always kind of knew the people in Pixies, so I had a connection with them in the beginning, and it just all worked out.
I think our organization specifically focuses a lot on community service and helping out the community as a whole. So our organization volunteers a lot at the Janet Weiss Geisinger Hospital, which is where children get help and treatment, and that's our biggest charity event.
What sets my organization apart from other organizations, my organization is heavily influenced in the community. One of our mottos is culture for service versus humanity. So the thing that my fraternity likes to do is we like to make an impact in the community and help the community any way we want. And we don't make it as if my fraternity is just helping the community. We want to make it seem like we're a part of the community as well, not just a regular organization.
For me, what I can see is that makes us different is we're all very diverse in the sorority I'm in. We're all not we all don't look the same and have the same kind of ideologies and morals of everything. We're just a melting pot of a bunch of different girls with a bunch of different talents and stuff they can offer. So I mean, I kind of like how I think we're one of the more diverse sororities on campus.
I feel like my organization is different from a lot of the other ones because our thing is unity through individuality. So we all get along. We're the same type of people, but we have different personalities, but they all click and mesh together.
Sororities and fraternities sometimes get a bad reputation from the public. We wanted to see how actual Greek organizations feel about this.
I would say positively. I mean, we are in Greek life, so there's just this stigma about it that is always very negative, so it's always hard to try and turn that around to make it more positive. But I've definitely said over the past few years our sorority has took a turn for the better, and we're definitely getting more involved with community and on campus, so that's pretty cool.
I think we have a pretty good rep here at Bloomsburg. Like I said, we help a lot around the community, so with that, it gives us a pretty good name.
How do I feel that public views our organization? Well, I would hope that they think we're a cool group of girls. I think recently for the Greek Awards, Deb put us up for Most Improved Chapter, so we won that, so I guess pretty well, I think.
I mean, we participate in the big event, and we do Relay for Life, and a bunch of one of our philanthropies is the cystic fibrosis. So they just had the cystic fibrosis walk a while ago, which wasn't through the schools, through the town. So we do a lot of stuff through the town that benefits it, benefits the town as a community, not really as through the university, if that makes sense.
I hope that the public views my organization as a great Greek-led organization that is out for the people and is out to help the community, and also hope that my fraternity represents, what my principles are, which is brotherhood, scholarship, service. So, when people view my fraternity, I hope they see, a great fraternity Greek-led man who does his business, gets good grades, graduates college, and continues to do great things.
I think that the public kind of maybe sets Greek life apart from other organizations because they don't think that there's benefits to it, but there's many benefits, including community service. We're always doing community service 24/7. I'm not sure how well people look at organizations, I guess you can say, but there's great aspects to them. I mean, they're always helping the community and looking for ways to help others out.
I mean, we are a national sorority, so over across the United States, we're well seen. We have, I think, almost 95 chapters across the United States right now, and we're going international. We just got our first chapter in Canada, so I think we're pretty well looked at. One of the biggest reasons that I joined the sorority was for, in the future, the impact with jobs and everything. The connections are crazy.
The way fraternities and sororities affect the public and community as a whole is a big part of their organizations, so we asked for their thoughts about their service.
Well, my organization and a lot of the other Greek organizations do a lot to help with the town, like the big event. We do Relay for Life. What else do we do? Our philanthropy is the Ronald McDonald House, so we go there and raise money for the kids and families.
Well, we do the big event. We do a lot of community service. The majority of the community service we do is not through the university. It's mostly through Bloomsburg. We have the CF hike and the CF walk that are all over at the town. We do Relay for Life, so a lot of it is mostly through the town.
Our biggest thing is our philanthropy, which is children's play therapy. So that's what we raise money for. And basically, like with the Geisinger Hospital here, we raised money. We got a grant, so I think it was like $1,500 or something. And basically, the money that we raised go towards. Basically, the hospitals get these dolls. They're very expensive dolls, but when a kid has cancer or whatever their medical situation may be, these dolls kind of, the nurses show them it to show them like the procedure of what they're going to go through to kind of calm them down. And they brought the dolls to us. They're pretty cool. It's like in detail, like fake blood will pump through it. So that's basically what our money goes towards.
I would say for outside communities, especially like in underrepresented communities, you know, we go there, you know, kind of try to bring light to situations, you know, whether that's, you know, feeding the homeless, you know, helping aid down child humanities, and, you know, uplifting, you know, just people. I would say that, you know, that's kind of like makes us so special. You know what I mean? Like it's I mean, I'm not saying that other organizations don't do that, but I would think that, you know, our vision and what we stand for and everything like that kind of, you know, especially when a lot of people talk about it, but, you know, we actually go out and do those things, you know what I mean? So I would think that that's how we impact other outside of the community in Bloomsburg, honestly.
I guess for me, with my organization, we like to do a lot of community service, and we like to have events regarding the community. And also, I guess the biggest event that we had was we had a water drive for Flint, Michigan. We planned on a water drive for Flint, Michigan, got people to come out, donate cases of water, and then myself personally ran out a U-Haul and drove out to Flint, Michigan to drop it off personally.
Being a part of a sorority or fraternity seems like a lot of work. Let's see how some students manage both.
It gets stressful at times, but I'm surrounded by a great group of girls, so we kind of all support each other, and we understand if we can't make something due to a conflict with school or something like that, so we cut a lot of slack for each other, and we're just there to support one another.
It's pretty easy. I mean, it's not like Greek life is demanding at all. We definitely always have time for our schoolwork. Even everyone's always at the library together, so, you know, get a big room and hang out all together and study. But seeing as people have positions in the sorority, I'm going to be treasurer next semester, so that's other responsibilities, but it's also great to put on your resume in the end. So balancing both it's not difficult, but it's something that you would want to do for your future.
I mean, it can be a lot, like, especially when recruitment comes around and all that stuff. It can be a lot to balance when you have to, like, go to the house or meet with some of the sisters and, like, talk to, like, a lot of the new girls and stuff. It can be a lot to balance, like, on top of your schoolwork, but we have our sisters that are there to help us with that, like, if we're starting to fall behind our academics. So, like, because they want us to succeed and they want us to, like, do well in college. Like, that's one of their main goals. So, I mean, it's tough, but, like, you have the whole support system of your sorority to be there for you if you start realizing you're, like, it's, like, you have too much going on.
Well, the good thing about it is I'm not the only one up here, so I have a brother as well, so I don't have to put too much pressure on me. But we always preach academic excellence. That comes first before anything. So if it does come a problem, you know, where school is, where we're not exceeding or not doing what we need to do in school, then we will kind of fall back. But for the most part, you know, me personally, I always maintain some type of balance. I don't like a lot of chaos, and then I wouldn't feel right if I'm not doing too well in school, because at the end of the day, that's what we are about. So, you know, I can't be out here being an advocate for that and I'm not doing that. So It's not really a problem for me, honestly. Like I manage well.
I guess the best way to put that one would be just setting up my time value between what's important and what's not important. So at the end of the day, I'm still a student. I'm still my own individual person. I'm still Vincent Fon. And so I don't let my, Greek letters kind of dictate on how I live or how I value my things. At the end of the day, I know that my main purpose being here is school. And so I put my priorities as if school, then after my school, well, actually, my first priority would be God. Then after God would be my family, and then while I'm here, it's school, and after school, fraternity.
It's actually really easy because I've actually changed majors 3 times while I've been here. So we actually have a specific sister every semester it changes who focuses on everybody's academics. So I meet with her actually once a month and she helps me go over my classes, my grades, and we have a certain thing where we can meet up with sisters who are in the same major as us and we all work together and study, and it's actually really easy.
Not gonna lie, it can get difficult at times. You are pressured to do things that you shouldn't be doing while you should be studying instead. But you focus on the 2.5 GPA that you have to maintain, and with that, you get through it.
For me, it was definitely challenging. I'm a secondary ed math major. The math courses are intense. So I was on exec for 2 years, and I held other positions within the sorority. So the past 2.5 years, 3 years or so, it's definitely been tough maintaining sorority life, my positions and the responsibilities I have within that, but also trying to stay on task and up to date with all my coursework.
Campus is made up of multiple Greek organizations. We wanted to know, do they work together?
I think they could work together more. I would like to see that by the time I graduate from Bloomsburg. Some of them are secluded a little bit more. They like to pair up, but as a whole, I think that we all work together pretty well with the big event and different charity events that we help out with around the community.
Extremely well. We all have each other's backs when it comes to anything, good or bad. And I think that's what makes it really cool about Bloomsburg's Greek life, is because we are a smaller school than other universities, that each organization only consists of about 50, 60 members. So everyone knows what's going on and everyone's very involved with each other and helping each other better themselves.
We're always, hanging out all together. It doesn't really seem like anyone's really against each other. Everyone has friends in all different types of sororities, even if they're not in a sorority.
No, I would say no. And again, that goes with, being a part of a BGLO. And for those who don't know, BGLO is Black Greek Letter Organizations. We kind of had different views and different missions as opposed to, the other fraternities, other sororities. So we're not on the same page with certain things or whatever. But for the most part, when it comes to events like the big event, we do come together for that, for a call like that. But other things as far as activities or programs on campuses, no, I wouldn't say that. We are unified in that.
Yeah, I think they do. Like Tessa said, there are a couple events like Relay for Life where all of Greek life is together. I think it's kind of a situation where Greeks help other Greeks. So we may not be the closest in the social aspect, but when it comes to community service, I think everybody would help each other out.
Yeah, I think we, for the most part, support each other by doing or being a part of other people's philanthropies or what they're raising money for, like can drives or tries to kind of like a powder puff game that a lot of the sororities and frats were a part of. Certain walks that people do, so I think we all get involved pretty well.
In regards to at least MPHC and Multicultural Greek Letter Organization, we definitely come together and support each other on our events and the things that we do. As regards to the other organizations of what we call mainstream, which would be like ASA or Kappa Sig, they don't as much join us in our events that we do. Personally, me, from what I've experienced, I've been on this campus for about 3 years. I'm a junior now, so I've gone to my fraternity when I was a freshman. And throughout my 3 years of being part of my fraternity, I could personally say that we don't get treated the same equal respect as I call the mainstream fraternity or sororities do. Because we're different. Because this school is mainly a white populated school. And so for organizations like mine, which was originally created for African American people, and most of the people who are interested in our organization are usually minorities, it's kind of hard for us to kind of get events together or have, you know what I mean, people come out and support our events, since our school is so small and, you know what I mean, the minority chart, the pool. And so I could say we honestly don't get the same rights as other organizations do.
Treated equally, it's kind of, trying to think. I would say yeah, we're treated equally. Now, treated as in, you know, other organizations don't, they don't disrespect us, you know. It's not like that or anything, but I feel like they are more privileged. And you know, with the question we were talking about earlier, as far as like with campus space and stuff like that. But you know, as far as, you know, mannerism and everything, I think we are treated equally. I have yet to been disrespected by another organization on this campus. But when it goes to like the other things we're talking about, like just the minor stuff, you know, with the programs and things of that sort of nature, like you know, we're not treated in that way equally.
I mean, for like the big event, Relay for Life, pretty much all of Greek Life does that, and they all like do it collectively as like Greek Life. I mean, you're in your own organization, obviously, but like it's recognized that they all do it like together as like one cohesive group.
With so many Greek organizations, we wondered if each individual organization has the same abilities as one another when it comes to scheduling events and reserving space on campus.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that either, how it works for scheduling. I think that's more of a president thing. But I think ideally each organization on campus gets like an equal amount of time on campus, like in care or something, if it's an important event.
When it comes to Divine Nine, I guess we kind of have the same equal rights as the booking events. It's kind of like everyone, any organization, Greek Lit or not, are kind of at the same priority level when it comes to reserving space on campus. There's no really any leeway or any like betterment for anybody.
That isn't my position that I would know specifically, but I think that we all do have a pretty fair chance of getting places if we needed to.
Funny as you asked that, the right answer would be yeah, because I don't know if Gretchen will see this, but honestly, I do not think so. I really don't think that we, especially as BGLOs, do have that option to reserve rooms. I know that Gretchen, she actually does reserve rooms for the other organizations, especially when they have like weeks like Rush or something like that. You know, they are, they get their room scheduled and everything. And then on top of, you know, just with construction that's also going on campus, we are limited. But I honestly don't think we have like, you know, the same, like I don't know, like I don't think this as far as like reservation stuff, it's not the same like as like I don't think we're, you know, equal with that.
For us, we don't really normally schedule a lot of things on events. If we have like meetings, we'll just like usually do it here. But as far as I know, I think yes.
Definitely. It's extremely easy. As long as we submit our chapter roster, from there on out, and if we schedule things ahead of time, we can reserve rooms, we can do anything on campus, fundraisers, stuff like that. It's very easy.
Each of these organizations can have up to 60 or so members, making communication possibly difficult. So we set out to see how the students manage.
Right now, after having the newest pledge class, we have about 60-some girls. So we have a Facebook wall that we like put important like dates and information and stuff, and then we also have a group me for just like random like updates about our lives to, you know, just keep contact with each other. We just put a lot of funny things, random things in there.
Yeah, well, we have a Facebook page that we can post on for important things, and if someone just wants to get lunch on campus, you have everybody's cell phone number. And our sorority specifically, we have so many members. We have like 50 members right now, so I run into sisters every day, so it's really easy to run into people.
We do it in a few ways. We have a Facebook wall, so everything and anything is announcements are posted on the Facebook wall, and that's our constant communication. And it's quick feedback right on our phones. You know, we get a notification whenever someone posts about something, if someone comments on something. We have weekly chapter meetings, and that's kind of how we like regroup all together. And then after the chapter meetings, we have chapter minutes sent out. So there's an email that's sent out weekly, and that basically gives a rundown of everything that we've talked about. There's group texts. I mean, I live with co-pledge class basically, so I'm constantly around it and involved in it, so it's pretty cool.
Well, like, we have all of our numbers, and we have a Facebook group we talk on, and, like, my pledge class has a little, like, a group chat on, like, Facebook. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to stay in contact with everyone, even if you're not, like, you don't have to be, like, texting them obsessively, but, like, you'll see, like, your sisters or, like, your brothers or whatever, like, you'll see them on campus and you'll wave to them. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to stay in touch with everyone, and if you need something, then you, like, have everyone's number to, like, text them, or if you want to get lunch with someone, you can just contact whoever you want. So, it's pretty easy, actually, but I like that.
Well, I mean, I know people at different universities where they have sororities and fraternities with pledge classes of like 130. So a pledge class of 10 or 15 isn't really that crazy compared to that. But everyone always stays together. I mean, we're always hanging out, always doing, like I said, community service events all together. So we always have a way to stay in touch with each other by doing these events.
Within Phi Sigma Sigma specifically, we're very close with our family lines, so we gain that connection very early on when you are going through Rush and when you are joining our organization. So I think being close with your family line and also having 74 other sisters that you can go and talk to, no matter what, you'll be able to maintain relationships.
Since they are both members of D9 fraternities, we had Vinny and Jakir shed some light on what makes their fraternities unique.
So the Divine Nine is the first 9 Greek letter organizations created for African American people. Now obviously you see myself, I'm not African American, I'm Vietnamese. But as time progressed and as history kept on going, the Divine Nine opened up to anybody. It wasn't, you know what I mean, it was originally created for the advancement of academic achievement for African Americans, but as time progressed, it's just based off upon the principles and your values of what you believe in. And so for my organization, I see what my organization is about and their principles and what they value, and that's what drew me to my organization.
The Divine Nine, mainly it said, consists of 9 organizations, 5 fraternities and 4 sororities, and the way the organizations or the fraternities and sororities were founded or were brought up upon, it was something going on at that specific time that they felt as though that we as blacks needed a voice. So, you know, we did what we had to do to kind of bring together, you know, people, you know what I mean, who were going through the same struggle as everything, you know, especially like my fraternity, you know, we were founded, you know, over 110 years ago. And, you know, like with us at that time, it was kind of like post-slavery, so it was a lot going on, you know, during the early 1900s as far as with blacks and everything, like our rights and our privileges. So, you know, my founders, you know, they felt as though it was needed for us to have that social group, and it kind of expanded because that was mainly what Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated was supposed to be based on, was a social group, but it expanded because, you know, things were you know, getting worse, and we needed, you know, to come closer. So why not just stop at a social group and why not turn it into something that, you know, can have forever? So I think that its richness and what, you know, why they, you know, started their organization during the time they did, I think that really separates us from a lot of the other organizations that are on campus. So.
Well, there you have it. All of sororities and fraternities have letters, but still have subtle differences. Some Greek organizations think that there is unity and equality, while some think otherwise. With all of this information, there's only one question left that needs to be asked. Where do you stand? Thanks for watching this week's special. For In Focus, I'm Daryl Gatewood.
And I'm Todd Haas.
Good night.